What's going on YouTube? This is Mark. First video doing this on my boat restoration and trailer. The boat was a shiny blue. It doesn't come out real good on these little boats because shiny shows everything, and this matte green is looking pretty good so far. And then I redid the trailer also. So, show you what I used. So first I used 2 cans of this, this is a 1 quart, this aircraft paint remover. You can pick this up at O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto. But anyways, the way you use that is you put it on the boat and you let it sit for a little while. It says like 20 minutes, but if it's nice and warm outside, it actually is pretty quick. But basically when it flakes up, that's when you want to scrape it off, and I just use this little 2-inch paint scraper. But basically, it's pretty easy. Just don't want to get it on your hands. Put it on the boat, let it sit. I think it has to be pretty warm outside. I mean, if it's in the 50s, 60s, I mean, you'll be doing pretty good. It won't take too long for it to peel up, and then you can scrape it off decently easy. I mean, it's not going to be super easy, but in the places where it's just straight metal or aluminum, it's really easy. But when you get into the rivets and stuff, that's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's why we have a sander. So with the sander, after you scrape as much as you can off, I use a 80 grit. And I put that on my sander, sand it down, knock off the big stuff. And then after that, there's some 220 left on here. It's all blue from what it used to look like. But then you knock off, or you make it all nice and smooth. And then I washed it down with just some water, and then I took a cloth and wiped off all the dust and everything to make sure it didn't get mixed into my paint. Then took this primer. This is a self-etching primer. I got everything I got is from Advanced Auto, O'Reilly's. Seemed like O'Reilly seemed to have a little bit more of what I needed for paint and stuff like that. So anyways, I think I did probably 3 cans total with the trailer and the boat with the primer. I probably used about 8 or 10 cans of this ultra flat Krylon camouflage. I went with this kind of darker green. I didn't use there's like a burlap. I don't know, there's probably different colors, but all they had was that burlap and this kind of green. And I was going for kind of a camo color. I might duck hunt out of it, I don't know. Anyways, probably used about 8 or 10 cans between the 14-foot boat and the 14-foot trailer. So, but for the trailer, it was just rusted. And so for rust, really all you got to do is knock that rust off. So I used a little bit of 80 because it was really rusted in some of the spots. It was super thick. So I'd use some of the 80 grit sandpaper, knock the big rust off as I could, and I come back with the 220. You always want to hit stuff with 220 before you paint it, just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and everything's off. I mean, the sanding is probably going to take the longest besides scraping the boat, because that really sucks. Anyways, so sanded it, and I came back with the primer on the trailer as well. And then after that, probably took me, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 cans, something like that, to paint the trailer. And I went in and just did it all green, just to make it easy. I'm not trying to win any awards out here. I just didn't like the way it looked, and now it looks a bit better. Probably gonna put up another video here of when I go to deck the boat. I've seen a lot of different videos of people decking boats, and everything's good and everything, but they don't maybe go as quite in depth. And I want to show people maybe how to set, like I've seen they put brackets and stuff to put the 2x4s and stuff together, but nobody shows what those look like, where to get it, stuff like that. So maybe I can help some other people out that are trying to do a little boat restoration, something cheap. I mean, the wife's already getting after me for buying the motor. That was $800, so you can't spend but so much money, am I right? So anyways, I'll send a little update, just a little panning of the things I used in case you need to write it down or anything like that. Alright, well, I'll put another video up, and I'll try to put up a picture of what my boat used to look like and what it looks like now, and we'll see how it comes out. Thanks. So this is super ghetto, but I'm casting my pictures of my boat the way it used to look like on my screen because I couldn't figure out how to put a picture from my phone onto my video editing thing, so here it is. This is what it used to look like before I painted it green in the boat trailer. So, kind of crappy. That's what the deck used to look like. Sorry for the vertical photo. I'll be changing that up quite a bit. Another picture of what it looked like. So I started to strip it out, take everything out. So that's the white rusted trailer. Lots of rust. Boat was blue. Looked like crap. Taking all the wood out. That's when I first started scraping it. That took a while. There's that little pan from the last video I was telling you about. Just a little plastic pan, like $1 from Home Depot, Lowe's, to put the aircraft stripper in. It didn't mess it up or anything like that, so don't worry about it tearing it up. That's the trailer before it got started. Super rusted. It's the aircraft mover, self-etching primer, and the camouflage like I told you about. Alright, that's the trailer, about halfway done. That kind of light green stuff is the primer, so it's kind of a greenish primer, which is nice. It blended well with that green paint I had. Another side of the trailer. And that's the trailer when it was done. Boat, started spray painting it. You can see maybe a little bit of that primer. Same thing, kind of a green, makes it mix well. And that's the finished product. And you saw that in the other video. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can leave them in the comments too. I'll let you know as much as I can. I wish I had took some pictures of me actually scraping the boat and stuff so you can see just how hard it is. But it's worth it in the end to make it look a bit better, because it does come out a bit bumpy, and all the raised up edges where people did a crappy job of spackling and whatnot. So that's it. Good luck on your own project, and let me know if you have any questions.